Hi guys, welcome to my video and my YouTube channel. Today in this part 4 of the Ultimate Dungeon tutorial series. One of the biggest requests I have gotten throughout this whole series is how do you make an enemy character and how do you make it work within this procedural generated dungeon, right? And that is exactly what I'm going to show you today. How to create an enemy, how to make him move around in the dungeon, how to chase the player. Super simple AI, but we will make it all work in this video. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee and some popcorn, and let's begin. So the first thing I want to do is to, it's very simple, I want to take all the rooms and put them into a new folder. So make a new folder, call them rooms, like this. Take your dungeon room 1, 2, 3, how many you have, and drag them into that rooms folder, just to clean things up a bit. We could make another folder called materials, that would make sense. Materials, base, chest, floor, light, coin. You do your cleanup and structure the way you want to do it. I would also make a folder called interactions, and everything you can interact with, pick up, door you can open, the chest, put it into interactions or blueprints or assets or whatever you want to call it, just so you keep the root of the procedural dungeon fairly clean with stuff you are going to use in the dungeon generation. The next thing I want to do is I want to change this stair room. Let's see here. I mean, it's not very pretty at all, and it's kind of a little messy to look at when the dungeon spawns, and there's not a lot of room up to the ceiling. So I want to make the second floor much higher, and I want to make it kind of into an elevator. I'm not going to make the elevator itself. There are tons of videos on how to make elevators, but just visually, so we can get a more interesting looking dungeon. It could also be a long ladder or some kind of staircase that goes far up. It's all up to you. And I will also change this room to not be just a square room like this. I want to give it a different shape. I want to make it into a corner room, so I can show you people that you can make these rooms into any shape you want. I'm getting a lot of questions on what if I have a bending room or a circular room or a corner room, or how does that work if it's not just a square room, right? So I will show you that. So let's just delete this stair thing. Like this. And I will make this into a corner room. So right now I'm just copy pasting geometry around here to get a new room shape. And I want to shape it like this. And again, these are squares, but it's a corner room, and you can round this part off. You can do whatever you want as soon as you have the exit points, so you have another room that can attach to that exit point. You can make an S-shaped room. Let's just try and do that. This will be our elevator room, right? This is not just a square. So I will just move these walls around so it kind of fits the new shape of the room. And as I've said before, please make your own rooms, make them look more awesome than what I'm doing here. This is all a bit messy, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't want to bore you with creating rooms here. As you can see, these pieces does not match each other, so it's all a bit messy. But please make awesome looking rooms. Something doesn't match up here. Or does it? I can't really tell. No. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so 5 squares on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it needs to go over here to fit. It's super messy, guys. Why? I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with getting things right in this coordinate system. What? That's the wrong one. This one. 7, 8, 10, 9, 8.5. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is probably intersecting. No, it's not. But it's too long. What am I doing here? 8. Is that what we need? Then I move it too far. Is it like this? Should I try and use these walls instead? Hope that these will fit now. They're not fitting anything. Jesus Christ. Like this. Does it match now? Yes. Okay, so these wall pieces are matching now. So let's just use, those. And hopefully I won't be fiddling around with this again if these pieces are working. Yeah, that figures. So when you rotate them, you need to they need to align with another grid here. So just take this down to 5, put it in place like this. Again, I will I will make this video into chapters so you can skip this ridiculous part where I'm fumbling around with these simple pieces. And again, guys, this is why game development takes so goddamn long time, because of things like this. Coordinate systems, right? We don't need them. See, I'm making exits all the time. You can do how many exits you want. Just copy pasting these around, making sure that they are still in the geometry folder, just so you have things a little organized. See, I figured out how to select 2 at a time and clone them. Mind-blowing stuff, guys. Delete this. All right. And I mean, things like this, forget about it. Do your room so it's awesome. Not do it like I do it. Then we need to move this elevator room around. Select everything in here. Oops. And also select these spawn points. And select the exit arrow. You can see everything is flickering because everything is overlapping, because I haven't made it the correct way. Go into top view and move this whole top floor around so it fits over the floor below. Like this, and let's move it up. Like this. Awesome. So the thing is now, this overlap box, which is the important part when you are making a different shaped room, you need to make sure that the overlap box is copied around to kind of cover the area of the room, so other rooms won't overlap with this one, and the other way around, this room won't overlap with other rooms. So you just select that overlap box, go into the top view. We need to make it the same height first, so go into left view here, give it another height, box extend 20, let's say 50, move it up, maybe 40 can do, 45, something like this, and then go into the top view, copy this around, move it, keep your snapping on, and I mean it doesn't matter if there's a hole in between here. What we want is the overall shape of the room. So copy this again, move it up, something like this, copy and move it, something like this. And what's going on here? What? So if I copy paste, it just resets the box extend. Okay, why are you doing that? 32, 32, 45. Overlap box, select your overlap, make sure that they are in the overlap folder. So select the overlap box, set this to 45 or whatever matches your room. And why doesn't anything happen? What is this, guys? So the scale is 30, 30, 28. Why is it resetting? I don't know. 28. What is going on here? 28, 45. I mean, you see, guys, game development, what's going on here? So the location changed that as well. 1200. Copy that, paste it over. Why is this happening? So if I copy paste this one, then we have no problems. Okay. So if you're getting this problem too, which I assume you do, then I have no solution for you. Just type in the numbers again, go into top view, move them back in place, Control C, Control V, move them back in place. So, sorry guys, I have no idea what that was about. But again, these are things that happens all the time. for no reason, no idea why. Anyways, we have a room here, so we need some more spawn points. Just copy paste them. We need more spawn points down here. Just move them around. Copy paste them so we get some random spawn points here. Just for the chest and for the coins and, you know, enemies and maybe even player start. We're going to get into that in this video too. How to spawn your enemies and how to get the Nav Mesh working with those enemies, because this is a dynamic dungeon that is getting created when you press play. We need to do some stuff with the Nav Mesh for it to be able to work with a, you know, procedural dungeon like this. Alright, we need the exit, we need more exits. So just delete those walls, right? Copy paste, move it, rotate it so we get the exits pointing the right direction. Copy paste it, move it, make sure it's in the center of the door here. Copy paste, move it. I mean, right now I'm making a ton of exits for this. Maybe we don't need that. Maybe we don't need that many exits. Let's just cap some of these. So what, 6.55? Yeah, set the snapping down to 5 and just move it so it matches. We can cap this one over here also, like this. Alright, let's just get some more exit arrows. You can tweak this again exactly like you want. I don't think it's very good game design to just have doors and exits everywhere. But again, most of these will be capped with an end wall. So it's just to give the dungeon more opportunity to for rooms to spawn in different places. Just copy pasting, make sure that the arrow still stays within the exit folder. That's very important, otherwise these exit points won't get taken into account for new rooms. And again, make sure to use the chapters on the video to skip these parts like this if you don't want to if you don't want me to waste your time with this, okay? And now we just need the elevator itself. We can just take a wall here, copy paste it. Let's make some sort of elevator here. Does it look aligned? It kind of looks aligned. So move it up, scale it. So we get an elevator shaft here. Look at how awesome this is. So make it bigger, make it a little wider, make it a little higher. Move it down so you can walk on it. Can you walk on it now? Yes. Let's make it less high. Is that a word? Alright. Okay. Again, this is not my strong side. Making things match. Alright, this is good. Almost perfect. Let's make it a little less wide. Move it. Of course it doesn't match. So put the snap down to 5. Make it match like this. Awesome looking elevator. What is this doing? Just delete it. So I think this is all we need for the new elevator room. And then later on maybe we can make it so that the elevator will teleport you up to the second floor. But it's not really the point of this. Let's see if it works. Compile. And since we iterated the stair room, we can call this elevator room now. Elevator room 1. And this blueprint is already inside the maze, the dungeon generator, so it should just work. So what do we have? And there should only be 2 of those. It does work. Let's try again. Yeah, it works, guys. You can see this weird room shape. There's no other rooms overlapping it. Right? There's no other overlapping rooms because we got the collision correct. Oh, now I broke it, but and we're getting end walls, so everything just works in this weird shaped room because we copy pasted the overlap box around, and we made sure in the dungeon generator that it can account for multiple overlap boxes. So you just copy those overlap boxes around. I think maybe you can even make your own custom overlap box if you have a room that is kind of with rounded corners, maybe. Just make sure that your overlap box are following the, you know, the area of the room as close as possible. And again, of course you cannot get to the second floor right now because there's no functionality for this elevator to work, or staircase, or whatever you want to use for this room. I'm kind of hoping to get a third, second floor, right? A first floor, second floor, and a third floor. But again, this is all random. But I kind of want to see a second elevator spawning on the second floor. If we're lucky to get that. We're not really. But that should be able to happen also. No, last time. No. Now you're probably wondering, is it possible to get these two to match up in some way with other rooms and hallways, so they are connected. And I think the question is no. I don't know how to do that. Let's make the hero character. So we go in to the third person blueprints. Let's make a folder over here called characters. Let's go in there. Let's drag the third person character over here. Copy it. And let's call it hero. This will be our player character, our hero. So let's open it up. And let's get rid of this mesh. Let's just go over here, skills and mesh, say clear. We will keep it so you can always put it back on if you like. Then we will go in here and again guys, if you don't want to watch me make a player character, you can just skip it in the chapters below. So we will make a new folder here, scene. Let's call this meshes, and we will add a cube. We can also just add a sphere. Let's just add a sphere here instead. And we will add, how big is this? We will fit this capsule collider to the sphere, something like this. And we will make some eyes. We will make a Pac-Man type of character here. So we will add 2 new spheres. No, delete the sphere. We can just copy paste this one. Control C, Control V. And then we can make it smaller. Turn on the dock here. Right. Okay, let's just take the snapping down. 10. This is the eyes. That's obvious, right? There we go. We have a Pac-Man character. Let's just make a few materials for this. Just copy the chest materials, duplicate it, call it M, hero, body. Let's make it Pac-Man yellow. Is it not yellow? It is yellow. And we can take the metallic down to 0. So now we have a Pac-Man yellow. Let's duplicate this one and call it hero eyes and make it black eyes. Select the eyes, plug in the new material, go in here, select the body, go back, put it on the sphere. I'm not expecting any of you to follow this right now because I hope you have your own characters. I'm just tired of looking at that mannequin character. So we create our own like this. Let's see how it works. Oh, we also need to go back to the character, to the player start here in the world. Right, and then we need to go to Where was it? Is it game mode? Yes, go into the third person game mode or whatever game mode you have. Because whatever we put in the game mode will be the thing that starts on this player start. So open the game mode. And here where it says third person character, click it and type in your hero or whatever you have called your player character. Compile it. Go into the map. Just press play and see what happens. New editor window. We have our Pac-Man. That's awesome. Close the game mode. We can get the camera a little up. Go to the camera boon. Get in the socket offset. Move the camera up like this, maybe. Can you move it back? Like this, and then we have to rotate the camera down. Oh, that was wrong. Select the follow camera, rotate it in the Y. Do we have to rotate all the way around? Yes, okay. Try something like this. Play. Yes. We can get it further away. Like this. Move it up. Compile, try again. Yeah, now we can get the Pac-Man view here. Anyways, this is all, I mean, this has nothing to do with anything. But now we're spawning the correct character and you have your own, right? And this works. Alright, let's create the enemy character. Just duplicate the hero character. Call it enemy. And we will turn this into an evil ghost. Again, all this movement stuff for the enemy, you can just delete it. You can delete the follow camera. You can delete the camera boom. Yes. And we will turn this into a horrifying ghost. So go to meshes, add a new cylinder. But that is actually a pretty awesome character right there. I like it. Go into the right. I want him to be a ghost like this. Just make it a little shorter. No. One. Can we make him? Can this be a ghost maybe? Let's duplicate the cylinder and just make this super small. What? Okay. Just trying to make a leg here. A ghost leg. So, yeah, isn't this what these Pac-Man ghosts look like? Turn this down, make it more precise. Yeah. This is a horrifying ghost, guys. You don't want to you don't want to run into one of these guys at night. That's for sure. So let's get the color here. Material. Oh, we will make a new material. Duplicate. Call it enemy 1. Let's make it pink, right? There's a pink Pac-Man ghost. Enemy 1. Select everything except for the eyes. Open the element, material elements, put it in the yellow. What? And in the white. There we have it. A horrifying Pac-Man ghost. We need to adjust the capsule here. Whoa. Yeah, and the thing is, you cannot move the capsule up and down. I don't know why. So it's always in the center of the world. It's not, you cannot get the capsule to stand on 0 here. That's we don't do that. Can't do it. So what we need to do is put the character at the bottom of the cylinder. And now it doesn't match, right? Then I need to fiddle with the height. And then that's why we made this folder, so we can just move the folder and it will move all the meshes. We need to make the capsule a little lower and then move the mesh. And this is just super annoying, guys, but it's just the way it is. So here we have the evil ghost. Compile. And now we need to go into all the geometry of the character and turn off overlapping events. You cannot step on it. And set the collision preset to no collision. We don't want the mesh to do any form of collision at all. That will be done with the capsule component here. So let's open the collision preset. That's just set to pawn. I think that's usually fine enough for characters. And now we need to spawn the character in the dungeon generator. So open the dungeon generator, right? And find the place where we are spawning coin at location and chest at location. We need to rename this so it makes sense. Spawn chest at location. So we're just going to do the exact same thing. Copy and paste. We call the event here spawn enemies. Oops. Spawn enemies at location. We call the event the same. Spawn enemies at location. Compile it. Then this chest amount, we need to make a duplicate of that chest amount. Duplicate it. And you guessed it, we will call it enemy amount. Enemy okay, enemy, yes. Compile it. We will set the enemies to 3 because there are 3 ghosts in Pac-Man. Compile it, and then we just drag it in every place where it says chest amount. We replace it with enemy amount. The seed thing is good. The spawn point location is good. Here we need to select our enemy. Blueprint enemy. Yes. Floor spawn list, location, remove it, it's good. Here, chest amount. Get the enemy amount in. Also here, get the enemy amount in here. So that is awesome. Now we have created the event. Now we need to play the event somewhere in the code. And let's do it up here. You know, where it spawns doors, coins, treasure chest, and completes the dungeon. So before it completes, make room, go to event graph, drag in spawn enemies at location, the event we just created, and plug it in. Compile. Save everything. Let's see if it works. We will just simulate. Look at that elevator. It's awesome. Okay, so we can go to the outliner here to the right, type in enemy. We have 3 enemies, so it works. Select one, go to the viewport and press F to focus on that enemy. It's in the floor. And that is because, as I told you before, let's go in and find the enemy again. Viewport, go to the left. You can see this is the ground at 0 and the center of the ghost. The period of the ghost enemy is in the middle. Jesus Christ, right? So it spawns half in the floor, as exactly as you can see it here. And since we can't move the collider up or anything, we need to give the enemy an offset when it spawns. And we can do that by go in here to the meshes folder, which should be at 0. Let's just put it in 0 like this. And then we need to move all the meshes up, and I will tell you why in a second. Move this up so it matches like this. That means the folder here is at 0, and that means we can just drag up in the Z-axis like this, and see it needs to be around 60, right? 60 in the Z. That means the ghost will be standing on the floor. So undo that, remember the number 60, go into the dungeon generator, into the enemy, spawn enemy, and over here where we set the spawned enemy at this location in the world, we need to move it up in the Z-axis. So make some room here, hold down Alt and left click to remove this line, make room. Make more room. Right click on this one, say split. Right click on the transform location and say split. Plug in the X and the Y because those are fine. We want it to move up in the Z axis. You want to get the original location and add 60 to that location, right? So we drag from Z, press the plus button on your keyboard and select add and plug it into Z. And now here we control how much up and down we want the character to be when it spawns. And I know it's 60, so I type in 60, compile it, and let's see again. It should be standing on its small ghost feet right now. We can just select the enemy over here. Oh, there's one. It's standing on its small ghost feet, right? Awesome. So far, so good, guys. Okay, so now comes the difficult part, which is the Nav Mesh and the AI. We'll see how good it goes here, but I will be expecting some problems. But I'm also expecting to solve most of them, right? But let's start with the Nav Mesh, which is something that can help the AI to move around in the level. So it knows where it is and it knows where it's going. It knows where it can go and where it can't go. So go up here in the quickly add to the project. What a great name for a button. Click it, go down to volumes and Nav Mesh bounce volume. Create one of those. And it just plugs it down completely random. I don't know why. Go to location here over here. Click the arrow to put it in 0. Alright. Where in the world is our dungeon generator? It's also down here in 0. And the player character, we put him up so he fell down. So he has time to fall down on the start room, right? Anyways, select the Nav Mesh volume here. Set it to movable. I'm not sure if that's important, but I think it is. The thing is that we are creating a dynamic level, right? It's getting created, and the Nav Mesh doesn't know how to deal with that unless we tell it to. So you can spawn rooms, you can remove rooms, and the Nav Mesh should dynamically adjust to that. And that's exactly what happens when you press play. It adapts to all the rooms that is getting put down in the level. Anyways, I think all this doesn't matter. To generate overlap events, click this off. Can step on? No, it's not stepping. And nothing is stepping on the Nav Mesh. It's just guidelines. They're all stepping on the ground, right? So here is the dimensions of the Nav Mesh. So let's just 200 put in 2 zeros in X and Y, 2 zeros. And I don't know, let's just put in 1 0 here at the C. I mean, just put 2 zeros in, so something like this. And let's press play, see what happens. Nothing really happens. You need to press P on your keyboard to be able to see the Nav Mesh. Right now you don't see it because it's not really working. And the ghosts are not doing anything here. We'll get to that after the Nav Mesh. Alright, so why can't we see it? And that is because of the dynamic thing I just talked about. Let me see, where was it? Okay, yeah, when you make a Nav Mesh bound volume, it automatically creates this one, recast Nav Mesh default. I have no idea what these words mean. But select that one, and then if you go down here to runtime, you can see the runtime generation is set to static. We need to change it to dynamic. Save all. Let's see if that works before I tell you why it works. Alright, so this works. You can see the screen. If you press P, it goes away. If you press P again, you can see the Nav Mesh. And it works because it's dynamic now. You can spawn things in and you can remove things and it will adjust to that. If it was set to static, it won't adjust to anything. So when you press play and our dungeon is generated, at the first frame there's no dungeon at all, and that's where the Nav Mesh is getting generated. So it doesn't matter how many rooms the dungeon creates after that, it won't know it because it's static. And you can see the limit here of the size of the Nav Mesh. So we need to make it bigger, but it does get all the way up to the first floor. So get back here, go into Nav Mesh bound volume, and I don't know, let's just say 5 instead of 2 in X and Y. And I do think if you make it too big, it it won't work. At some point, if you get too far out, the nav mesh just stops working, and it doesn't matter if it's inside the nav volume. If you get too far away from the center of the nav mesh, it's just my experience that enemies just stop working if they get too far away. So either don't make your dungeons so big, or maybe find a solution to the problem. Maybe Unreal already found a solution to that problem, I don't know. But it's a problem I have had with my other games. And this nav mesh looks pretty good. I don't really like the navigation on top of the walls. That is not very good, because the ghost here will sometimes pick a location up on a wall and it cannot go there. So we don't want that. And guys, if you go into the recast nav mesh default thing, there's a lot of settings on slopes and how tight the areas are, and you know, so you can make adjustments to how precise the nav mesh is going to be drawn and things like that. It's not something I know anything about, to be honest. So I'm not going to fiddle around with this to try and get rid of these on top of the walls. I simply don't know how to do it. And I have tried things like going into all the walls and fiddle around with some settings in there, but I mean, that doesn't really work. So I'm not going to spend any time on that. But let's stop here. Let's go into, I mean, that should be the nav mesh. That should be all you need to do in there. And I mean, that's usually the problem, is that dynamic versus static setting that you find in down here somewhere, right? This is usually the problem where people can't get their AI to work. So let's get into the enemy here, our little horrifying ghost. Let's get it to move around. So we will make a custom event. I mean, I'm a big fan of custom events, right now at least. We will call it roaming. This will be where the ghost is roaming around. So drag out here and type in random, here it is, get random location in navigatable radius. That's what we want. The origin here should be get actor. Was it actor? Get, it's not actor. Is it self? All right. What? Location. Get actor location. Why didn't it work before? Anyways, get actor location. So you get the location of your ghost, and from that location you kind of measure out a radius. Let's just say 2000. So in a radius of 2000 from the character where it's standing, within that radius we will find a random point. And we need to go to that point, right? So drag out here, type in AI move to location or actor. AI move to is the one we want. The destination we want the AI to go to is the point we found in the radius, which is, this is the result of this. Right, this on the right side is always the result of what's happening on the left side. That's how I understand it. So we find a point in this radius, which is this location, and we put that location into the AI move to, so it will move to that location. And when it gets within 5, I don't know, units of the destination, it will be a success. Boom. If it cannot get to this location, it will fail. Like if it's on top of a wall, for example, then it can reach it and it will fail. Does that make sense? So what happens when it succeeds? We want to roam again, so just type in roaming. So when it gets to the location, it will roam again. If it fails, it will stop and do absolutely nothing. So let's say if it fails, if it can't get to the location, it will just start roaming again. And roaming is when we click it, this is our event. It will get a new random location. It will move to it. When it get there or can't get there, it will start all over again. It will get a new one. It will move there and so on. And we need to right click here and say begin event, begin play, and we need to fire off the roaming event we just made. So open the event graph, drag out roaming, plug it in, compile. So a thing we need to do with this enemy before it works, go into the top blueprint enemy, and we need to tell it to use an AI controller to move around. All these collisions should be fine. So just go down, where is it? Dynamic obstacle. Okay, how far down is it? Maybe it's... Here it is. AI controller. It's already AI controller. I'm not sure why. It should not possess as a player. It should possess as an AI when it's placed in the world, and also when it's spawned. When you place it in the world or when you spawn it, it should auto possess the AI. And I think maybe that's it. Let's try and see. Let's find an enemy here. Press F to zoom in. It's not moving. What a surprise. So why is it not moving? Is the other ones moving? No, nothing happens. Alright, let's have a look. Let's go into the enemy again. Okay, AI move to. It doesn't have a pawn. And the pawn should be self. Get a reference to self. So what will be moving? It will be moving itself. I think that's what it means. Compile. Let's try again. Oh, what we have here? We have a moving, horrifying ghost enemy here. She is trying to go through the wall. Why? Even the doors work. That's awesome. Don't know why it turns red, the Nav Mesh. Maybe you guys know. She is probably trying to get up on the wall. Do we have other ghosts? We have another one here. Why does it turn red when it goes into the door trigger? Don't know. Do we have a third enemy? It's stuck. Nice. Okay, let me show you. See here. A thing I like to do with these enemy AI thing is to make an actor so that you can see where the enemy wants to go. For example, let's just make a new blueprint class as an actor and call it AI destination, maybe. Open this one up, and in here we will add an arrow, because arrows are freaking awesome, right? Rotate it down 90 degrees, give it a good size like 5, move it up like this so it points straight down to the center of the actor. We can, I think maybe let's make blue, a nice blue arrow here. And also remember, when you make arrows, they're always hidden in game to begin with, and I want to see it, so click this off. And in here in the event begin play, we will make a delay, and we will set it to what, 2 seconds, and after that we will destroy the arrow again. Destroy actor, which means itself, so it will destroy itself after 2 seconds. Let's go into the enemy here. We will make some space because we want the arrow to point down to the location where the enemy wants to go. So we drag out here and say spawn actor from class. We plug in the arrow, AI destination. We had it already selected, so we could just press the arrow here. So we open the spawn transform by split struct pen. Let's move it up, and then we can plug in the same location result as the AI is going to. I mean, that's what I hope. And also always spawn, ignore collisions, so it doesn't get pushed around. I don't think arrows has any collision at all, but just to be sure, right? So go in here, press play. We should see some blue arrows here. So when it reaches its destination, or it can't, right now it can't, it will play. I don't know why it plays 2, and that was the other one. So they pluck down an arrow and then they go to it. And then we can see why things are not working. See, that's on top. It will get stuck over here. I don't know for how long before it realizes that it has failed. This one's also failing because it's on top. So, I mean, that's the main problem right now with this navigation thing. It selects the walls. As simple as that, and that's not good. See, it goes all the way around the walls here to get over to the arrow. That's awesome, guys. So we're almost completed our Pac-Man game here. So that's awesome, guys, right? What more can we do? I mean, of course, you look up enemy AI tutorials and you create your enemy from that, and not from my video, right? But I think we can try and do so when the player character gets into the enemy radius, the enemy will chase the character. If the player gets out of the radius, he will stop chasing the character. Let's try and do that. So what we need to do here is we need to make on the enemy here a collision. Type in get the sphere collision here, get the size up 200, 1000, 2000. Big radius. Let's just start off by doing that. So what we want is when the player, okay, let's just call it something that makes sense, like proximity. So awesome word, and it describes exactly what we're looking for. I also usually just call it trigger because I can never spell these words anyways. So you have the trigger selected. We roll down here to on component begin overlap, click the plus, go to the trigger again, on begin end overlap, click plus. So what happens when we get into the trigger, and what happens when we get out? So what we need to do here is when this ghost sees you, we want to set the AI move to the player target actor. Right, the thing is, let me show you if you can just plug it in here. Anyways, see here. When we begin overlap the trigger, the other actor, that's the player, or it could be something else. We can check if it's the player, otherwise the ghost will be chasing each other. Now another thing we can do, actually, this is pretty cool. Let's see here. Let's go into the player, the hero here. Select the top node BP blueprint. When you scroll all the way down, we get in under actor, under advanced, we have tags, right? And this, I mean, I don't know why it's hidden in here. It is super nice feature. So you click the plus, you add a tag, we call it hero. Remember, big and small letters matter because we're going to copy this text. So now our hero character has the tag hero. So when we go into our enemy here, the other actor, so when you go in, when something comes into the trigger box here, that would be the other actor. If the other actor, then we can say has tag. If that other thing that comes into the radius has the tag hero, then hold down B and left click to put down a branch and plug it in here. So if the thing that comes into the trigger box, if it has the tag hero, then this is true. If it doesn't have the tag hero, like if it's another ghost, it will be false. So if that is true, we will set, let's see here, the target actor, we will set it. So drag out from other actor and say promote to variable and put it into true. And then I think we can copy this set other actor down here, and if it's false, we set the other actor to nothing. That's what I think is happening here. Then now I'm getting a little uncertain of this thing I have thrown myself into here. And then I think we can plug the other actor into the target actor. And hopefully if this is empty, it will go for the destination. If there's something in here, it will go for that. But I'm not sure. Again, if the other actor is leaving the trigger box, then we set the other actor to 0. So copy this one, plug it in here. And also if the other actor has the tag, just copy it and plug it into other actor. So if the thing that is leaving the trigger box has the tag hero. Then copy the branch and plug it in here. Then we set it to 0. The other actor is equal 0 now. And if it's not the other actor, if it's not the actor that has a hero, it will just do nothing. Let's try and see if this works. I think maybe it should just work now. Let's play in the window, in the selected window here. So we have Pac-Man. Where are the ghosts? Over here. Pac-Man is just speed running here. Doesn't work. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Why doesn't he care? Because I'm doing something wrong. That's obvious. Okay. Let's do something else. Let's make an event here. Custom event, and we call it chase. Again guys, just skip this part if you already know how to make an AI or find a better tutorial on the internet than what I'm doing here. So when we are chasing, we want the AI to move to, copy this over, we want it to move to the other actor. And if it's, I mean, is this even more simple than before? So after this, after we have set the other actor, we can drag out the chase like this, and we can make a chase. When all these other ones, we will make it roam. So drag out roam, copy, paste, roaming. And disconnect this other actor. I think. Let's try. Let's also see if it's even triggering these. So select both of them, press F9. Because maybe it could be that the collision on the trigger box, and okay, so it, okay. So it is, okay, it's overlapping everything. Let's just do it if this is true. If these ones, if you get past the branch, F9. No, not F9. If it's the character that has hero, let's try this. These two. F9 to see if it works. Holy shit, there's a lot of arrows. So, okay. So it's completely confusing now. Okay, we need to do some changes here. We need a little more space, and we will check here in roaming. Maybe roaming is not the best name, but we will make a branch and we will check if this enemy is chasing the player or not. So we will make down here a variable, and it's a boolean called is chasing. Compile, and up here we will drag it in, get it, plug it in like this. And if it is not chasing, it will be roaming. This is the roaming code that is working, right? If it is chasing, we will go down here. So remove this one for now. We will go for the player. And we will rename this roaming to, let's call it check for enemies, check for player, check for player. It's not the best word, but let's do it like this for now. Yeah, so it checks for player all the time. When it is, if it is chasing the player, we will just check again, check for player. If it succeeds, and if it fails, it needs to check if it's still chasing or if it's not chasing. And down here we will set if we are chasing or not. Can we just remove this confusing? So let's just remove this for now and stop this F9. And then if it detects the player, we will set this is chasing, set it to is chasing, like this. And down here copy this. If the hero gets out of the trigger, we will set it to not chasing. Compile. And when all this is done, we will check for player again. Let's see how this works. Okay, we did not get a billion arrows and they're chasing me. Whoa. And I cannot get out of the radius. Okay, let's try again. It could just be random, it worked that they ran after me, but let's see here. We are not getting chased now, right? And now he gets me. So we need to, what we need to do is we need to, this trigger, we need to be able to see it. So scroll down here to hidden in game, turn that off, compile. Let's try again. You can see the sphere here. It's searching around. So if I go into it, it will chase me. Can I get away? He will just... There's no escape. Holy shit. This is how you make a horror games, guys. What? He can't get to me in here, why not? I don't know. Move it. Okay. Save everything. This is pretty good. Pretty good. We can do it so that we can do it so when he's chasing us, he will move slower. So go find the character movement here. What speed is this dude moving in? He's moving at 500 speed. So you can say here, down here, if he chases me, drag out character movement, set walk speed, set max walk speed to, let's just say 200, so we better can test it. Like this. And then just copy this, put it down here. So when you get out of the radius, he will set his speed back to 500. Let's see if it works. Okay. Let's go and find ourselves a ghost. He probably can't get away from that. Okay. Where did he go? There's a ghost on top. Come on. Alright, he chases me, he moves slower. Let's go back here. Alright, oh, then he just puts down 500 arrows and he's confused. Now he can't see me. When we get into the radius, he will chase me and I can get out, and he plucks down a shit ton of arrows. I don't know why. It's probably not a big deal. Whoa! What? So, and that is because this thing, checking for player, this is getting played a shit ton of times. But guys, I don't know, I mean, this could take forever to fix all these small things, but the main issue here is, the main thing is that you got a Nav Mesh working, you got an enemy walking around on the Nav Mesh, and that is kind of it. People have been asking for that, and we made it. We made it. It's so terrifying to make these tutorials, it's not even funny. You know, sitting here, sweating like a pig, like the whole world depends on me creating this tutorial flawlessly, right? But I mean, of course you want to show stuff and there's no ghost around. There we go. He cannot get me. There's another one coming. Okay, they're not trying to find other ways around. But I mean, again, look up some enemy AI tutorials and follow those instead of this one, because I have no idea what's going on here, and it will take forever for me to fix it. So you have better options out there. Now we just got the basics working for our dungeon game here, which turned into Pac-Man. But I mean, who doesn't like Pac-Man, right? Okay guys, I mean, a thing we should do is to go in and remove those arrows in the rooms, right? So go into the master room here. Select that red arrow, we know it's working, so just hit it, set it to hidden in game, like this. We could also do the same for the exit arrows, right? But then we need to go into all the rooms to do it. And do we really want to do that in this video? I don't think so. But all these, you just go in, set them to hidden in game, and you won't see them. You won't see all these arrows, and then it will look more like a game. But we got rid of the big red arrows, right? That's something. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something from this video. I mean, what are these dudes doing up there? They cannot get down here. Again, there's still stuff we can cover in this series, dungeon series, right? But we got what people wanted in this one. And again, let me know. Hopefully it's because I'm at the edge. I'm going in and out of the circle here. Yeah, I mean, let's just pretend it never happened. All right, let me know in the comments what you want to see, if I'm going to make a part 5. I don't know. This tutorial could go on forever, but it also needs to be meaningful content, right? There's no reason of making a 10 episode long series that takes 20 hours to watch through, is if there's nothing interesting to teach here, right? So let me know if you want to see more in this series, and I will write everything down, and I will consider if it's worth spending time on, okay? But that's it for this time, guys, so have a nice day and see you next time.